right, from Colin, dear Zionist overlord Klavan, that's sarcastic. All right, this is very long, and I'm going to try and edit it as I read it. I honestly think the fat pride movement has a bit of a point on some things, which of course, their suggestion that severe obesity is a healthy lifestyle is absurd, and their demands that everyone find them attractive, childish. I think I honestly agree with them on their view of beauty standards in the West. It seems to me that the idea of trying to attract a mate is a false and animalistic view of what love is, and in my experience, choosing to love someone makes all their qualities and physical attributes perfect to you because you love each other. It also makes me think that the political right's common response to the fat pride movement of "you're ugly, go lose some weight" is counterproductive and destroys a woman's self-confidence. So basically the question is, what do you think of this, and what's your opinion in general on the fat pride movement? First of all, I completely agree with you. I completely agree that standards of beauty have become absurdly limited, and there are plenty of women who would be considered overweight who I find incredibly attractive. And yes, you are right. When you fall in love with women, they become attractive. And I think that, that it is absurd to think that every woman can only be produced either by surgery to look the way she looks, or like a million hours of exercise. Not every woman has to look like that. Women in the old days didn't look like that, and I don't think they have to now. So I think you're absolutely right about that. And the whole the problem with, obviously obesity, which is a huge problem in this country, and people never talk about it because it doesn't affect the coasts. That's why you don't hear enough about it. In New York and LA, people are super thin. You go out to the rest of the country, there's a lot of obesity, and obesity isn't good for you. The fat pride movement, like all pride movements, is garbage, okay? This is the thing. So this has nothing to do with people, or you're maybe a little overweight, you maybe whatever, people should leave you alone. Other people's weight is none of your business anyway. All pride movements are shame movements. Black pride, gay pride, fat pride, they are all movements of people who are ashamed of something, who are trying to get rid of their shame by forcing you to like them. The shame is internal, but they have taught themselves or been taught that it's coming from outside. That is a recipe for misery. If you need the approval of people around you before you can be happy with yourself, that is a recipe for misery, because there are always going to be people who dislike you, and they may dislike you for good reason. You have to look within and ask yourself what you are actually ashamed of. You don't have to tell fat people that they should lose weight. They know that already. They're having a problem, if they're really obese, they're having a problem with food. And it's really hard to break the food addiction, because you can't, it's like, I broke an addiction to smoking because you don't have to smoke, but you have to eat. So once you start eating, it's hard to stop. So the thing is, the pride movement is ridiculous. You have to look within yourself. What are you ashamed of? How can I change it? Obviously, I feel that it's orienting yourself to the North Star, which is God and Christ. And when you do that, you stop feeling ashamed. You feel better and better and better. You cannot get rid of your shame by forcing other people to pretend they like you. It never works, because the shame is within you. So fat pride has nothing to do with the issue. Obviously, we should definitely expand our ideas of what's attractive and stop picking on people.